The Drake Golem. Drake's first mining ship? Is that what the Golem is? Ooh.
Hello and welcome back to Star Citizen. My name is Evenlease, and today on Ship Preview, right behind me, we have the Drake Golem. All new in the PTU right now. Let's go ahead and take a look.
It's got all the duct tape in the right spots. How much? How much? It's got that vulture cockpit up front, man. $100? $100?
All right, welcome back to another ship preview. I haven't done one of these since the Zeus, but it is awesome to see a brand new ship into one of the gaming loops like mining, which this ship is a mining vessel from Drake. The Drake Golem is a cute little ship, very industrial feel to it, as you can see looking at this thing. It is quite awesome looking, and I am actually kind of surprised just how small it is, which we'll take a look at in here in just a second. Now, since this is a preview video, there's not going to be any rating score at the end or anything. You'll have my review on this ship once it is live and all the stats are, quote unquote, final for right now and the update 4.1. But here we go. This ship here does have two size 1 CF117 laser repeaters on the front of it, giving a total of 234 damage per second. And then, being a Drake ship in its all fashion, has two size 1 Spark 1 missiles. So, I mean, what are you going to do with these things? You're not a combat ship, but it's just nice that it has it. It might deter someone just for a second if they get a missile lock and hopefully give you enough time to get out of there. Now, otherwise, this thing, like I said, it's a mining ship. So it comes with the Pittman mining laser, which is bespoke to this ship, and it comes with two size 1 module spots, which is pretty cool. I haven't tried it mining yet, but we are going to do that during this video. Now, this ship does hold 32 SCU of ore in those 2 ore bags, holding 16 per. So we'll take a look at that. We'll pull them off the ship and see how easy that is. Otherwise, this ship does have 24 SCU of hydrogen fuel and 1 SCU.
What is the prospector? Isn't the prospector also 32? So we have a ship that actually does the same as the prospector here, is what I'm thinking.
Of quantum fuel, or just under 1 SCU of quantum fuel. It's just like just under. Now, the top speed is 203 SCM with a top nav speed of 1010. And of course, all these numbers could change between now and its actual live release. Whether that's this Friday or next week, we just don't know. So we'll keep an eye on that. Now, let's go ahead and continue taking a look at this ship. I'm going to go ahead and get into the pilot seat. But before I do, we're going to take a look at all the areas like any sort of weapons locker.
What do you say was the meters per second on this? Because I think this one's faster than the prospector and holds the same amount of SCU. Yeah, prospector's 32. This is slightly faster. I think the prospector's around 150.
Storage areas, component areas. We'll take the mining bags off and put them back on. Let's have a little bit of fun with this before we do. Now, from this point forward, I'm going to have all game audio on except for music, just so we can take a look at how this ship sounds when we do pretty much anything with it. So let's go ahead and start. We're taking a look at the exterior here. Let's see where some of the access points are. First, starting with this side, you do have a storage access point right here. I'm going to go ahead and close that up. I can't believe I left that open. It doesn't seem to be closing. But otherwise, when you open this, this is where you'll have your storage. Obviously, I can't seem to do that right now. I opened it back in the hangar, and it never closed. It's one of those bugs that just happens with some of these storage areas. Hopefully something that's fixed before its live release. And then taking a look over here, you do have one of your weapon racks, which if you open that, you can see I already have a handgun there, and you could probably put, a medical device or a multi-tool here, which is pretty cool. And it holds on to that, and I gotta like that. Let's go ahead and close that up and take a look at the other weapons locker. Now, if we go to this side, you do have a second weapon rack, and if you open that up, you can carry a rifle, which is just awesome. So you have 2 of them, one on each side.
Yes, Drake. You're not gonna hate me. That's what you gotta love about Drake. Always areas for weapons, man. Like, you never know what's gonna happen. Drake, dude. Drake. There's spots for weapons all over this baby.
And it even says it, rifle. You got to love the detail right there, right? Now, this is where you enter the ship. This is the front of the ship. Just picture it like an ROC. You walk straight up to it, and you press this button right here, and that'll allow you to get into the ship, which we'll do in just a second.
Hey,
Let's go ahead and continue looking at some of this detail on here.
Good to see you.
So over here, you do have a fuel port, and no, it's not this right here. It's actually here, and there's the button there. If you click that, it brings out that fuel port. Very interesting that you would put something that has a very flammable substance that could potentially be caking the outside of it, depending on which Drake pilot's loading the fuel in there, and then you have a thruster right next to it. So it's a recipe for disaster, but, you know, it's just where it's at. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the ship. You do have, like I said, 2 of these ore bags here, the one here in the center, and then one right behind it. Let's take out our tractor beam if we can with the smaller one and remove it from the ship. All right, so to remove these ore bags here, you do have to unlock your ship ports. To do that, you get into the cockpit, you hit right Alt K, and that'll unlock the ports. It'll have it come up on screen saying ship ports unlocked. Once you do that, you can go ahead and grab your ore pod and take it on down just like that. Nice and easy. Ooh, I just put it right back on. Let's pull that off just again here and bring it all the way out. The engine seems to be in the way.
They're making all these new designs so modular now, which is great
into VTOL
for how industry's going to be popping out.
Let's go ahead and bring it out this way. So you got one ore pod there, and then another ore pod. Let's see if we can just bring it straight out the back. We should be able to. Yes, perfect. So if you don't move those engines, don't waste your time. Just go ahead and bring it straight to the back like that. Now, once that's there, you can see where they would connect these ore pods to. So very easy disconnect, very easy to go ahead and put that on a C2 Hercules that's working alongside of you, and to grab a few extra empty ones off that ship and just continue your work. Now, as we take a look in here, we do have a lot of component access that is hiding on the walls of this ship here from the inside, which is kind of too bad. You can't access these things unless the ore pods are off the ship. So that's something. It's not a terrible thing, but here is the access point. It looks more like an Argo, doesn't it? Oh, that was right above me. Oh, that was cool.
It's got Argo vibes. Yeah, total raft.
Oh, wow.
If this were orange, it would fool me as an Argo. You're right.
If you don't put that in there right, you open that door, you're just going to get hit in the head by a shield generator. Now let's go make our way over here. We should have a couple more component areas. It seems like all component access is only accessible once you have both ore pods off, which I guess makes sense instead of putting them on the outside because there's not room due to the engine. So with that, now you know where all the locations are for the components. Now let's go ahead and get those ore pods back on and start a little bit of mining here to see how well that
very well designed.
So, again, let's see how easy it is to put these on here. It should be a cakewalk, right?
Yeah, right. Careful.
As long as the tractor beam will hold on to it. All right. Bring it on in. We'll bring it in that way first, then just drop it down and push it back. That should be straight. There we go. Perfect. And then bring this one on in. There we go. Easy. Very easy. Oh, that was super easy. I don't mind that at all. And of course, if you ever want to put your VTOL thrusters down, you just hit K on the keyboard. You're good to go. Now, let's go ahead and hop into the ship where you would by pressing the button here. It's going to go ahead and open up just like the ROC. Your seat's going to come down. You're going to go ahead and get in. This thing is going to be a hot box. You do have a fan behind you, as you can see when the thing opened up, but still, you're in just a nice metal box. And like I said, I don't know if I've said this, but there is no interior, no bed, no nothing. So this is just it here, your cockpit. And you have some of your buttons, your lights, all sorts of different things, enable VTOL. So that's pretty nice. And then you have your 2 MFDs and your radar system with a few more buttons up top. All right. So let's go ahead and power this thing on and see what we can do about mining and show you that mining laser.
Field of view is a little bit more crunched down on this compared to with the Prospector. I don't know if I would like that.
So I'm going to go ahead and press M on the keyboard to deploy the laser, which as you see, it's going to go ahead and slide all the way to the front. And then the arm's going to go ahead and attract out.
Whoa. That was cool, man. Let me rewind that a second. Look at that extension.
So I'm going to go ahead and press M on the keyboard to deploy the laser, which as you can see, it's going to go ahead and slide all the way to the front.
That was sweet.
And then the arm's going to go ahead and attract out.
That is cool.
Oh. Wow. Okay. So that was actually a pretty cool animation.
Oh, you leave it there,
It's very
Dean.
tucked away. I like that. Let's go ahead and try mining now. Let's see what this rock
Good to
looks
see
like
you,
here.
man.
As you can see on the right side of the screen, that's going to start jumping up pretty quick based off that charge there, as I have the laser at 100%. So we just got to make sure we keep it in the optimal area. No overcharging. Drop it down a little bit.
Yeah. What we're seeing here is we're seeing Drake actually take and steal Argo design. We're literally just seeing them slap some paint on this. And to that I say, you know what? Great job, Drake. This is exactly what I expect out of Drake. Good job. Keep up the good work, Drake.
Now to power your laser up and down, you hold left alt and you scroll wheel. So that's all it takes to do that. We should crack right through in just a second.
This is a total deep seek move. They deep seek this shit.
Okay, so anything that is showing up purple is good to go ahead and extract from. So I'm going to hit
Drake
left
just
alt,
deep seeked
mouse
Argo.
button 1. That'll switch it to extraction mode, and I'll go ahead and start that process. As you can see, it's going to start collecting, and my cargo will
elements
start
of the mole
filling
on this.
here on the right side. So that rock is now done. Let's move on to the next one. Looks like we're able to collect all these rocks, which is great. Now let's go ahead and head over to one of the mining stations on the moon here and compare it to some other ships.
Fast. It's a lot faster than the prospector. So same SCU as
Comparing it
prospector,
here,
but
you can
faster.
see it's almost as small as a Mirai Razor, which is just insane how tiny this ship is. So let's go ahead and lift off here with the Razor, and I'm going to bring it right on over top of the ship here just to see how, sizable this is in comparison. It's pretty crazy. So now we're going ahead and change that camera view, make sure we're not moving, and there we go. Just back it up an inch. There we go. That's insane. That is a very small ship.
People are saying
if
it's
you're
around
asking
130.
me, what a fantastic ship to grab if you want to do any sort of mining operation. This thing is just tiny. So I'm betting its visibility out there on radar is going to be pretty small. But if it's not, at least you're going to be a pretty hard target to hit, right? All right, as you can see, now I have an ROC to my right, and the ROC isn't technically that big of a ground vehicle, right? But that just shows you how small this Golem really is, just because like two and a half of the ROCs.
Man, it is compact. It's a compact miner. It's smaller, it looks like, than the prospector. It's faster than the prospector. It has the same SCU as the prospector. More modular. The only negative with this is it doesn't have that crew space, There's no space inside. It's just a cockpit. So, but if it is $130, that'd make it what, $25 cheaper than the prospector? If it's faster, it gives me the same SCU and it's $25 cheaper. And all I'm missing is the crew, like the cargo crew. On a solo mining ship anyway, how often are you going to need a crew? Can't bed log. Yeah, that's a bummer.
You got the length of the Golem, maybe 3 at most, but that's pretty insane. And the fact that the Razor is one of the smallest, ships with a...
I bet that's the difference in price, right, Wookie? That you can't bed log. They're like, okay, well, if you want a bed log, then just spend the extra money for the bed log, Yeah, that's it. It's a day miner, like Fingers is saying. It's just like a quick, fast day miner. Save yourself about $25. But man, not being able to bed log, that's kind of like a no for me,
quantum drive, yet this thing is practically
It's
the same
slick,
size.
though.
That's crazy. I wish I had more ships in the PTU to show you in comparison, but I just don't. Most of my ships are on live and I didn't bring them over, yada yada. But anyways, I really hope you enjoyed this preview and
Unless
just
you
taking
take
a
it
quick
on a
look at
larger
this
ship.
Obviously,
Good point.
during my review, I'll try to show more angles. Comment down below a couple things for me. What do you think the price of this ship's going to be? And what would you like to see this ship
Stunner says, have we learned nothing, people? It will be $154.99, same as a prospector, so you can't upgrade to it. Speculation on the net. I'm looking right now. Everybody's saying it's going to be around $130, give or take. So we'll see. We'll see what price is. It should be less. It should be less than the prospector.
compared to
I like that it's faster, and I like that it's smaller, which means it's harder to hit, So it's faster and it's smaller. It has missiles, which, I mean, what were they? Two size 1 missiles? So, I mean, like, it's kind of pointless, but okay. But it's smaller, it's faster, carries the same SCU. Can't bed log, though. No crew. Yeah, less. It should be less detectable. It should be.
or landed on or inside of.
I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of on the fence on that one. I don't think it's a bad idea. I think we need to introduce more industrial ships. And you're going to see a lot of elements from other ships as Cloud Imperium takes different assets that are already created and start to make amalgams of different types of ships. They're going to start pumping out more ships with different uses and hopefully more on the industrial side this year. I think we'll see a lot more focus since we're talking about crafting, base building, all these economic kind of features, engineering, all these tertiary kind of features where you're going to see like a large rush of industrialized ships. I don't think personally these ships should cost this much. Like, if you ask me, this ship should be like $85-$90. Do you guys agree with me on this? You understand what I'm saying? Like, on ships that are like industrial in nature, especially ones you can't like bed log and that they're smaller like this, I totally think that these ships need to be priced downwards. Like, I think they're hurting people by putting these things over $100. Like, I like the design. It's cool, but they need to start lowering prices on these, because I mean, like, come on, $135, you know what I mean? I would say $85 because they're pushing it a little bit, and they're going to get hit on that this year. You're going to see a little pushback on prices this year. I guarantee it. I guarantee there's going to be some pushback this year on prices. You're going to start seeing a lot of people starting to get upset at how they're elevating prices, and there's going to be some pushback, and hopefully they'll bring down prices on ships. We'll see. I think we'll see that this year.